here with Brian Chojnacki, who is the owner of SoonerPlantFarm.com. And Brian, we're looking at some of your amazing Japanese maples. You have a few hundred here that people can buy, but we've got some that are pulled that are kind of unique. Tell us about this one you have here.
Well, there's so many different varieties of Japanese maple. This particular one happens to be what we call a double graft, and this one has a green lace leaf variety grafted on the lower part, and then it has a red lace leaf grafted up above it. And so it gives it a lot of character and uniqueness that you wouldn't find in just a single colored one. So it kind of, you're not sure which color you want, this one will do both.
So this is for the undecided person.
Exactly.
So a lot of times we think Japanese maples need a lot of space, but you actually have some that are columnar as well here, and some that are a little bit more dwarf and weeping.
Exactly. There's so many different sizes and shapes that there's really one for any garden, every garden. Different colors, different leaf styles. This is a palmatum type, and then here's a real lace leaf, a dissectum. And then there's some of these, well, there's a variegated one. And
you have this one behind us that's weeping, and it almost looks like it's a vine.
Exactly.
It's so long here.
Exactly. This one would look great in a large pot on a deck. And there'd take a little bit of pruning to keep that thing kind of zeroed in, but it naturally does weep, so it's not going to be something that's going to get out of control.
Do you have to worry about them sunburning at the top where they're kind of weeping over or anything?
Well, on all the Japanese maples, you do have to worry, especially in Oklahoma, you do have to worry about direct sunlight. And the rule of thumb is try to avoid direct sunlight after noon. Okay. Although you can do it, it's just going to be a challenge in August, at least in Oklahoma and the southern states. It's going to be a challenge to keep leaf burn.
Kind of like us, we don't always look the best in August either.
You're exactly right. That's true.
This one behind us here, it has a little bit of a gold edge to it, and that's not a deficiency. That's how it's supposed to look.
That's how this one was, actually selected. And so it's this one is a Sagara and the Shiki, and so you see that golden edge, which is faded a little bit from early spring. With the newest growth, you'll see even more of that. But typical with any variegated type plants, the hotter it gets, the older the leaf gets, that variegation does slowly start fading.
And we have some that have pink variegation, but then we also have this lime yellow variegation as well.
That one they call butterfly.
Okay.
And again, you'll see the difference in color. This one, I picked this one to show, just to really emphasize how white they can be. And of course, this would not be one that you'd want to put in full sun. Mm-hmm. It's going to be probably a problem burning. But tucked in a shady area, it really stands out.
And it'd highlight that shade also.
Exactly, it actually just brightens up the whole area.
So now we have a few here that have a little bit finer leaf. This one almost looks like lace.
It does.
It's so serrated.
And again, this is, kind of think about that, the smaller the leaf or the thinner the leaf, the more likely it would be to burn. And so if you're living in western Oklahoma and you get a lot of wind, this would not be a variety that you'd want to choose because it wouldn't take long to dehydrate these leaves.
Okay.
But you can choose something with this over here happens to be Oshiobeni, which is real close to Emperor 1. And Emperor 1 is an upright purple leaf variety that you probably see a lot of in landscapes when you see a Japanese maple. At least here in Oklahoma, you're going to see the most noticeable one, because they do grow the biggest, is either going to be a Bloodgood or a Emperor 1. And both of those two varieties are probably the most common, very, very similar. Emperor 1 is a variety with a thicker leaf and can tolerate our sunny, heated conditions just a little bit better.
And because it'll get bigger, it will naturally be exposed to a little bit more sunlight.
Sunlight, yeah. And so that particular tree, whether it be an Oshiobeni, a Bloodgood, or a Emperor 1, that's going to be about a 20-foot tree. Okay. It's going to produce shade underneath. Not something you're really going to want to tuck in right next to your house unless you have a very large house.
Right.
But you want to get those away, and that kind of leads to planting the correct tree in the location that you're wanting to fill. You really don't want to put something like this that you're going to have to be trimming all the time.
Right.
So why fight that? Find a variety that's going to stay in the size and then plant it, and you won't have to do a whole lot of maintenance.
So if you're really thinking that you don't have a lot of shade, you desperately want a Japanese maple, and you want to push that boundary a little bit into the sun exposure, then this would be one that you would want to go with.
The Emperor one in our state would be probably the #1
Okay.
suggested variety.
All right, and now on this one, I was thinking it was reverting back a little bit because it's got some different
Yes.
leaves on the new growth, but that's just how it grows.
Yeah, this is a linear lobum species, and kind of what you just identified is it is very unique that the newest growth comes out with more of a palmatum type leaf.
Well, it's a beautiful plant, and just the variety that Japanese maples come in. There's so many, and there's constantly more coming on the market.
There is.
Thank you for sharing and educating us
You're
about
very
those.
welcome. I appreciate y'all being here.
Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.